This is your PIR for Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. All the facts you need to know for the Patriot on the go. Oh man, Patriots, can you believe this? We have 3 days left in this month. March is marching along, and absolutely amazing how time is going. You know, we said things are going to speed up, and they are, without a doubt, but that is in all forms and all things. The question is, which way are you speeding to? Where are you as an individual speeding to? Where is this taking you? I can say that's in your heart and your heart to know. Alrighty, let's move right along here. Announcements, none to make it this time. Oh, I actually do. Let's see. No, I don't at this time. Okay, item 1, space weather, brought to us by Laura Walker of the OracleReport.com. As you know, we will not have a space weather report here on PIR till this Thursday, the 31st. But the Oracle Report has put out a new audio, The Wisdom of Chiron and Charlico. And this was put out today, Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. Now, to find this report, go to OracleReport.com. And it's new audio, part 2, the new astrological year, 2022. The Wisdom of Chiron and Charlico on the homepage of OracleReport.com. Be sure and check that out. And again, it is part 2. A lot of good information coming there. And again, space weather will return PIR on Thursday the 31st, which is the day before the new moon in the new astrological year. Very good. All right, moving right along. Item 2, economics, currencies, cryptos, equities, and precious metals. Yeah, what are we looking at here? Yeah. Well, looky. You know, there's a funny thing. I had said a few days ago that I fully expect oil at $200 a barrel. And what's this article from? Oh my goodness, this is from, who put this out? Bloomberg or someone, a major economic reporter. It said, how would the world economy handle $200 a barrel oil? Here's what one simulation found out. And they're talking about the high degree of possibility that this could happen. Yeah, no kidding. So that will be difficult. You know, there are things, speaking of the economic side of this, you know, because we are in the Black Swan event, and I'll talk about that again in a moment. Looks like we have some shortages in diesel fuel. The price of diesel fuel is very high, and regular gasoline all around, well, not all around the world. Some nations it's not, but in the West and Europe it is very high, and it's continuing to be so. Vladimir Putin actually put out yesterday, they have the deadline, the 31st, which is Thursday, for the payment of all Russian gas and oil in rubles or gold only. And they're not moving on that. Let's take a look at all the markets before I want to get into something else here for you economically. Yeah, mixed. Gold's down, silver's down, crude oil's up. Yeah, crude oil's at 107.41, silver down at 24.75. Gold is down, let's see, to 1,910. All the other markets are flat. Taking a look at the cryptos, kind of downward trend, kind of flat. Bitcoin's at 47,631. XRP, 87 cents. Interesting. Yeah, we'll talk more about the cryptos in the very near future. Cryptos, gold, and silver, without a doubt. Now, in other economic news, you know, going right along with our Black Swan report and calling it this week, look at this. Russian president predicting countries will start converting their paper and electronic assets into real reserves of raw materials like land, food, and gold. It was a very short speech by Vladimir Putin. Let me grab this real quick, and I want to, hold on here, I've got to stop that. I'm not going to play the true audio because it's all in Russian, but it is translated. So let me read this as Putin says this, and I'll put a link to this Twitter feed in the description box so you can see it yourself. This was, okay, bear with me as I bring this up. I'm doing this live in real time, and I don't want to mess this up. Okay, stop right there. Go back here. Stop the volume. Okay, I think I've got this. All right, again, the link to this in the description box. And this was just put out yesterday by Vladimir Putin. Very serious and short statement that is going to change the entire world and confirms again we are fully in the Black Swan event. He says, let me reiterate, the whole global economy will suffer, may have suffered a major blow, as did the trust in the U.S. dollar as the main reserve currency. The illegitimate freezing of some of the currency reserves of the Bank of Russia marks the end of the reliability of so-called first-class assets. In fact, the U.S. and the EU have defaulted on their obligations to Russia. Now everybody knows that financial reserves can simply be stolen. And many countries in the immediate future may begin, I'm sure that this will happen, to convert their paper and digital assets into real reserves of raw materials, land, food, gold, and other real assets. And that was the poignant main part of his statement. And I have to tell you, he said, let me reiterate, they will. He said other nations will. There's a plan, and I believe it was called, the name of Operation Sandman, that I read quite some time ago, where nations outside of the U.S., Russia, China, India, a few others had agreed in a pact that at some time in the future that they would, in a coordinated fashion, drop the U.S. dollar, sell all U.S. treasuries, and basically destroy the U.S. dollar as a world reserve currency. This is happening right now. We are seeing it. We're seeing evidence of it. We are seeing movements in this. It is happening. And as he said here, it's interesting that the EU and the United States have defaulted on their debts. What that means is the U.S. Treasury notes, the debt from the United States, the bonds, etc., that were sold and purchased by Russia from the United States and the EU, they are not honoring them. Now, this is going to tell other nations of the world, India, China, everywhere else, that in the future they could potentially lose all of their investments also, just at the whim and the signing of a pen by a president of the United States, pressuring other nations. This is going to cause the activation of Operation Sandman. It's all happening, people. Sandman. You know, the interesting thing, why would they call it Sandman? What's a sandman? Made of sand. It can fall apart. It's not solid. Operation Sandman. Very, very interesting. Okay, that is a major economic report right there. And I'll put this link to the short audio that's translated into English also, that I will guarantee you didn't see on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. None of these channels are going to cover this. And it's probably one of the, like I said, one of the most powerful and telling statements made by a world leader. He's basically saying the Rothschild banking system is going down right now. Yes, this is a good thing, people. The Khazarian mafia is on the ropes. All right, let's move on into the next topic, which is item 3, geopolitical. Yeah, looking at everything. Chinese firms look to cash in on Western exodus from Russia, blah, blah, blah. U.S. senators propose plan for seized Russian assets. Yeah, they're already talking about spending the money that they took from Russia. What else we have? Yeah. The Ukrainian and Russian peace talks are underway right now. So those are moving right along. We're seeing seeing that happening. That's happening in Turkey, by the way. Yeah, live updates. Russia-Ukraine talks are underway in Istanbul. Okay, so things are moving along quite well, actually, in the special military operation to demilitarize and denazify the nation of Ukraine. Yeah, I'll give you some updates on this tomorrow. Some of the actual numbers that you aren't hearing because, like I've been saying, as it's being presented in the Western media, you're not hearing the truth. They are censoring this so much. And again, all these reports of the Ukrainian army is holding back the Russians from Kiev. They're not moving into Kiev. They're tying up the forces there. It's all a ruse. This is the way the Russian military has fought for a long time, and their new revised tactics they're doing as they need to do. And there's more getting done than people know. But you know what? The smoke will clear, and people will see. The funny thing is, too, I was thinking, how in the heck is the Western media going to explain this away when they've been putting all out this fake information, these lies? I mean, my goodness, the Ukrainian government has been caught how many times putting out fake information, even complete with video footage from video games. It's not even real, claiming it was like planes shot down and crazy stuff. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, this will all play out. Be positive about it, and the biolabs, the criminal activity, all of this will be dealt with. It is happening right now. You know what? I didn't mention something that was important last week. Yeah, the Pope actually last Friday, I believe it was, did a special thing, the consecration of Russia and Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Special thing that happened, very historical. You can look into it. You can find out about it. Catholics of the world were freaking out about it. And it was interesting because it landed on an Orthodox holiday also. Very, very interesting. Maybe we'll have Laura Walker of the Oracle Report touch upon it. She can probably do it much more eloquently than I can. Already. Hold on. That was an update I just got from something. Sorry about that. Let's move right along. That's about it for geopolitical. Stay positive, everyone. The clown show in the United States continues. Don't even report upon it. It's just nonsense. It's all fraudulent. Anyway, item 4, Earth changes. Yeah, check this out. We had in the northeastern United States, like I was saying a few days ago, we're going to have this cold snap that came down. And there was an interesting thing that happened through the Northeast yesterday. It was a very unexpected snow squall that blew in, and it was almost whiteout conditions, high winds, very cold, blowing snow, and like a combination of fog and snow. And it actually caused an area of Highway 81, actually, in the state of Pennsylvania to get very treacherous, and people were driving way too fast, and it was a huge pileup. It was like 60 vehicle pileup, multiple injuries. It was very severe. There was fires in tractor trailers. 5 people have been confirmed killed as of now. That number may go up. Again, very, very treacherous. We also had, so we're looking at a late spring here, no surprises. We also have a situation of heavy raining and landslides in Ecuador. Yeah, more than 250,000 people without drinking water as the landslide destroyed some of their water supplies, etc. And we're also having an uptick again in volcanic activity and earthquake activity. So the sleeping earth is waking up. We're going to watch this and be aware of this. Let's see what else. Slow down. If the weather conditions are not good for proper driving, you really need to be careful on the roads. Very, very important information during bad weather. I mean, if you can't drive, just pull off, because if you watch some of these videos of these pileups, it's crazy. I mean, you can even see 100 feet, and trucks and cars were driving like 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour through these conditions. I mean, they would come up on the pileup. They couldn't even see it until they were on it. So please be aware of that. Alrighty, let's see what else on earth changes. That's about it. Let's move over to item 5, tip of the day. Tip of the day I have for you. We talk a lot about preparations and, power grid outages and all this. Oh, and by the way, they're warning again about a cyber attack. Be aware of that. We will have our 10 days of darkness, believe me. If everything goes down, you'll be like, yeah, we're squared away. We've been listening to PIR. We've been prepping. We're good to go. We got food. We got this. We got that. Very cool. Oh, wait a minute. Getting kind of stinky there, man. How are you going to wash your laundry? Seriously, do you have an alternative plan for, part of the hygiene thing that needs to be done is also laundry, washing your clothes. You got to go old school. You got to be thinking about this. How can you do it? There are alternative ways. You can wash in a bathtub, with some soap and stuff if you have sufficient water to do so, right? Or there are other methods, 5-gallon buckets. The tip of the day I have for you is to think about that. Do you have that covered? How do you keep laundry items clean? Do you have a line to hang them on? So many people are dependent upon, electric washer and dryer, whatever, modern conveniences. And everyone's like, I've got my storage food, I've got this, I'm prepared, I've got weapons, I'm good to go. And power goes out, and like 5 days in, they're like, dang, my socks aren't doing so well. Seriously, it's part of sustainable, victorious living during tumultuous times is have a clean set of clothes. So think about that. There's ways to do this. Look into it. My tip of the day is to consider your alternatives and your emergency plan for taking care of your clothing, washing your clothing and drying your clothing. That is my tip of the day. Alrighty, last but not least, let's go to the prophetic word of the day by Doug Addison. Doug has for us today, March 29th, 2022. It will be important to laugh and get into joy to shift the spiritual atmosphere. Yes. Do you love to laugh? I love to laugh. Laughing makes you feel so good. And it's very important to be able to laugh and get into joy. And see, that's a real trick too. That's a very strong indicator of faith, is to be able to have joy and a smile on your face when the world is falling down around you. I'm serious, and I've seen this before. I've witnessed this before. Now, I know people listening to me who've been in very serious situations. I mean, serious, like, yeah, dude, we're all going to die. And the next thing you know, you're like cutting up, making jokes. It's like, it's a release. And it's also a sign of, truly, like a sign of faith. I mean, some of the bravest people I've ever met in my life were some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. And why is that? Because they have good attitudes. Yeah. They don't look at the downside. Oh, woe is us. We are done. No. Like, oh, well, here we go. So anyway, again, it will be important to laugh and get into joy to shift the spiritual atmosphere. Boom. Doug nailed it again. Alrighty, that is it, everyone, as we roll out of this March. We only have 3 more days left. So that's it, short, sweet, and to the point for the day. Until tomorrow, be well, stay alert, and remember, how you going to wash your stunk of clothes? Seriously, got to be clean. And also, globally, where we go one, we go all. God bless.